So I spilt some boiling oil on my face yesterday, and we're gonna find out in a few days how permanently damaged I am. It's not it's not like my skin is like bubbling, but oh my god, dude. It's when you get boiling oil on your face, it is intense. It's intense. Anywho, so YouTube keeps messing with me. They keep taking down videos of mine and giving me copyright strikes from things that happened years ago. Not copyright strikes, I'm sorry. Community guideline strikes. I'm starting to collect them. And I'm on thin ice. I'm on thin ice. So it's cool to be banned for a year and then get an apology. And then they bring me back and then proceed to start community guideline striking stuff from years ago. I could appeal, but I'm just so over it, I'm so over my channel being destroyed. I'm definitely shadow banned. And normally I hate when people complain about being shadow banned, but I am 1000% shadow banned. When your channel gets removed for a year and they give it back to you, just trust me, you're seriously shadow banned. I know other people think they're shadow banned, and I am 100% shadow banned. 100%. So now I'm just like, what do I do? What do I do? And especially these community strikes. Like, I'm getting community strikes on stuff where I don't even want to say what the title of the video is, and it's just crazy that they're striking me for the stuff that they're striking me for. Like, I got struck down. My most recent community guideline strike was for a video a couple years ago where I was like, oh, this is why I'm not worried about this particular global situation. I was like, yeah, I'm not really worried about it. And that was basically it. Like, no medical advice, nothing, no conspiracy theories, nothing, no misinformation, just my opinion of me not being very afraid of something. And that was enough to get me a community guideline strike. That was my most recent guideline strike. Like, I literally couldn't have the opinion to not be worried. Like, that was enough to be like, you're struck. So I'm at a point now where I'm just like, I just feel like I really can't talk about anything that is serious. I can't talk about anything that's serious. And I'm sitting on my channel, I'm not really producing content. I don't really know what I want to do in the future because I can't go back to politics. And I feel like all the subs I have left are just with me for politics, and I'm not doing that anymore. And I don't really have any motivation right now, truly. I have no motivation right now to do anything. I was thinking about working on my Twitch. You know how many followers I have on Twitch? Because I haven't checked out my Twitch in a few years. I have 0 followers on Twitch. 0. Which I didn't know was possible, but I have 0 followers on Twitch. So I was like, maybe I should work on my Twitch, because maybe Twitch should be where I go to talk about, like, politics and stuff. Maybe Twitch is where I should go. I just don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Like, I'm thinking about doing a podcast, but doing it on Twitch. Because I just don't want my YouTube channel to have, like, 1,000 podcast videos on it, to be perfectly honest. And so part of me is like, maybe Twitch is the way to go, because then the stuff doesn't stay up there permanently. I don't know. It's just annoying that I keep getting guideline striked. It's annoying that I'm shadow banned. It's just annoying. And, my wife was basically like, hey, are you going to go into politics, like, as a career? And I was like, no. And then she's like, then why are you doing this? Like, why do you care? Why are you researching stuff? Why do you... It just makes you so anxious, and stressed out. So I stopped watching the news right around the Afghanistan debacle, right around Afghanistan and people falling off airplanes, ruining Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, by the way. They ruined that movie. I'll never be able to watch Rogue Nation again the same way. Anywho, around Afghanistan falling apart is pretty much when I stopped watching the news, and that was such a good decision. I literally unsubscribed to everyone that I was subscribed to. I said goodbye to Dave Rubin. I said goodbye to Jimmy Dore. I'm way not really watching Joe Rogan anymore, because even that's too topical. I just basically stopped. I definitely stopped paying attention to CNN and Fox and MSNBC. I mean, I basically kind of only tangentially paid attention to those networks. And yeah, now I'm just seriously not watching them. So, oh, goodness. Anyway, I have a couple hours to kill before I go to work. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just talk and record stuff and see what's happening. Maybe touch bases. But yeah, I just don't know what's happening. I don't know what I'm doing, you know? I just don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't want to make those video game movie videos that no one watches, you know? Like, the Uncharted one was really, really hard to make. Death Stranding was super hard to make. And they're just so not popular compared to, you know, when I was doing political videos or when I was just doing one-offs, you know? So I just don't know. Like, I don't know what to do. That's why I'm thinking podcast. Problem is everyone has a podcast. But I'm thinking podcast. It's really just where do I want to do it, you know? Do I want to do it on YouTube or do I want to do it on Twitch? Because I don't want to do it on both. I just don't know. You know, I just don't know. I definitely don't want to stream video games while talking, because I've dabbled in that, and I feel like I'm pretty terrible at it. I'm pretty bad at playing video games and talking and managing a chat. So part of me is like, I don't think I'm going to do that. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. I know I want to do something creatively, but I just don't know. Also, if I did a podcast, I don't know if I would do it by myself or if I would do it with a partner. I haven't really decided. Part of me was thinking about doing a podcast completely by myself. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'll tell you what, though, the censorship is real. That's for sure. Man, I really wish I hadn't spilt boiling oil on my face. Dude, my left eye looks so saggy and weird. Because I basically got it in my eyes. I closed my eyes and it got all over my eyelid, like on the bottom side. And then it ran down my nose and it's like on my chin. Like, I basically have like this really crazy red mark from my left eye all the way down to my chin from boiling oil. And it hurts. It was yesterday. My wife was like, rub witch hazel on it. I'm like putting witch hazel on it. I don't even know if that's good. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's good. Anyhow, I think maybe I am going to do a podcast. That's what I should do. Yeah, maybe that's what I should do. Oh, what's on my mind? Nothing really, other than YouTube is just really screwing me over. I'm super shadow banned. I'll shut up about it. I just kind of know I am based on like previous videos' performances. Like videos that were getting views before the ban are not getting views after the ban, even though they're still like really good, high quality stuff, and they're in the top 1 or 2 on YouTube anyway. So I just kind of know that like when I have like the number 2 video on the entire website of YouTube for a certain thing, it's just crazy that I'm now getting like 50 views a month on it, you know, whereas before I would have been getting tens of thousands. So it's like, you know, when you get shadow banned and your whole community dies and then everyone's mad at you because you're not making what they want you to make. I'm positive that like 95% of my subs want me to talk about politics, and I'm just like, I just don't know. I just don't know. You can understand my hesitancy to talk about politics when it's the thing that literally gets me in trouble, you know? And I don't even like talking about how it gets me into trouble because people will make assumptions that I'm like far too extreme, and I'm not. I'm like a very fair, normal, middle of the road person, like politically. I'm not an extremist in any direction, so it's funny to me that I'm getting in trouble all the time just for like keeping it real. Yeah. Just keeping it real. Oh, goodness. But yeah, if I do a podcast, I actually have a lot of subjects I could talk about. I've actually had kind of a very interesting life. A lot of adventures, a lot of weird stuff. I had a really, really unique childhood that is very different from anyone else I've ever known. So I don't know. I do feel like if I do a podcast, I will have a lot of things to talk about. So yeah, maybe I'll start thinking about doing that in like a format for that. And I don't know what I'm gonna call it, because I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I can't call it my name's podcast. It'll be too similar to Joe Rogan's. I'm like the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm like the Joe Vice podcast. I'm like I just don't know. And the other problem with Vice is that if you search Joe Vice or Joseph Vice, you're gonna get one of two things. A year ago you would have gotten me on Google, but now you're gonna get Joe Biden, or you're gonna get like Vice News. You know, you're gonna get one of those two things now. So that's part of me why I'm like, I don't know what I would call the podcast, because if I call it anything Vice related, then people are gonna go. It's gonna be like the algorithm's gonna think it's the news. Yeah, I just don't know. I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. Yeah. Stay tuned for something. Stay tuned for something.